On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. We may have some potential peace. We'll see. We'll see. There's some interesting dates in the future where this is supposed to happen. Maybe it takes that long. I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to see it not be correct, frankly, but we'll see how this all plays out. I've got some interesting news going on. Got some, we've got a lot of news. I don't even know if I could summarize. Of course, this peace deal thumbnail, we're going to go with that direction as the big story, but we've got so many things. For one, Freedom 250. This is going to be a big year. So starting right off the bat, it looks like, New Year's. Some very cool stuff's being done. Freedom 250 is going to launch America's semi-quincentennial celebrations with New Year's Eve illumination of the Washington Monument. So they're going to light it up. The big giant penis is going to be lit up. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the giant Johnson. What is that? You guys remember that movie? Anyway, Times Square ball goes red, white, and blue for America's 250th birthday. Well, that's kind of cool, right? So there you go. This is the year. We're going into the year. We're starting the quincentennial. I'll learn how to say that by the end of the year, probably. We'll see. Maybe. This was just too funny not to play. Apparently, someone got a makeup kit for Christmas. I guess there's just times where you're lucky, huh? I mean, I was so happy I showed up there. Yeah. Erica Kirk saying something I think that's amazing advice. It's something that I've thought about many a time because I'm sure as I progress further, fun things will happen. And people like to make accusations. That's one of the fun things that happens. And a lot of people get mired in that. Now, I know a lot of people just cannot resist themselves. So whatever. You do what you're going to do. You do you. But some great advice. Again, I've said many, many, many times, I learned from people that are in far bigger places than me, and then just understanding it from a perspective of where I'm coming at it from, like, right? So trying to get like some hints on what to do, what not to do. And Erica Kirk is giving the best advice when you've got people attacking your moral character and all this stuff. A lot of people are like, why doesn't she fight back? She'll explain that.
Carrying on Charlie's legacy, and there is so much noise. I know I've said this many times before, and there will always be noise. Whenever you are over the target, we're in enemy-occupied territory, there will always be noise, and there will always be people that will distract you. If myself or Charlie spent every single second going down and responding to every accusation, responding to every insult, responding to every judgment, we would get nothing done. We just wouldn't. And at the end of, Nehemiah, he basically was saying, Lord, strengthen my hands. And so I feel the same way. Like, I'm not going to ask God to remove those people from my life. It just makes me stronger. So, Lord, instead of removing these people and this noise at the bottom of the hill while I'm trying to build, just give me stronger shoulders, give me stronger hands to keep building, because that's always going to be there. That's the enemy, and that's life. Mm-hmm. That's life. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to me.
It's great advice. And again, it's when you're over the target, when you're getting closer and closer, you are going to have people that are going to make all sorts of accusations, right? And sometimes they make very dangerous ones. Again, want to remind you guys about being healthy. One of my favorite things, obviously a lot of the products that I talk about cover health from a few different angles. Some of them overlap a little teeny bit. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Healthy Home. Heal thy home. Same thing. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. A couple products. They don't have a lot, but the products they have are amazing. First off, I'm a huge stem active. Almost done with this bottle. All it does is help raise your stem cells. Stem cells are cells that can become any cell in the body. They're cells that help rejuvenate livers, lungs, blood vessels, all the things that break down in our body over time. They always say, cells every 7 years, they replace themselves. Yeah. And what do you think they replace themselves with? Stem cells are part of it. It's a big part of your body's defense These are cells that can become any cell in the body. Now, obviously, when your lung is healing itself, it's probably growing some lung cells on its own, if you will. I don't think it actually heals itself. Liver. Let's use the liver as an example. But stem cells can help rejuvenate and can help repair. And it speeds things up. And as we age, those numbers decrease. This doesn't put any stem cells in your body. This causes your body to produce more stem cells. Naturally, beautifully, there's a gel, there's pills, depending on how you like to do it. They've also got it for pets. It's the very last product, and it's about half the price what people pay, so it's pretty cool. Balance is something that's definitely saving women's lives, and I've heard some pretty good results from a number of different people so far. And it's people that are going through the transition into baby making, or typically for my audience, mostly out of the baby making years. There is obviously changes that go on. I would never even pretend to understand them, but I've had some very lovely ladies tell me what their experience was, right? And come to find out, this has made an enormous difference. One of them was on the synthetic hormones. She liked those, had a good experience with those, but then tried the balance, and that just made things better. And it's a click thing. It's a lotion. It's transdermal. You put it on your wrist. You rub it. It's all, boom, it's good. But the other lady, she wasn't liking the synthetic hormones. They weren't working for her. I don't know exactly how it was going awry, but she didn't like them. She stopped taking them. She started using the balance. I think she might have used like 2-3 clicks, and it's clicks is how many pumps basically, right? She rubbed it in, and then she's like, "Oh my God! For the first time, I feel normal." So you got hot flashes. You're not sleeping. Your emotions are out of control. You're having a hard time in relationships because you're constantly all over the place, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just, you're going through, better than anybody. You've got your own version of this, right? You're the one that's up to bat right now. Just a lot of us are not sure what the hell's going on, right? Balance is helping bring balance back to ladies going through this. Again, this is what I'm hearing. It's weird advertising something I could not possibly try. They've told me, it works for guys too. It's like, no, thanks. I appreciate you. It might. I don't want it to. Amaze works for guys though. I like this very much. It's delicious too, in fact. Collagen. It's a peptide. It's already liquid. You don't have to dissolve it anything. You tear the top off and you go good, and it tastes delicious. It's a peptide. It's immediately absorbed. You've got lifeless hair. You got saggy skin. You're doing any of the weight loss stuff, you better get on some collagen because your skin needs to be a little more supple as you're losing weight. However you're doing it. You want to consider collagen definitely as a part of that because it's going to make a huge difference when it comes to your skin and how it rebounds. But also hair, lifeless hair. You want to try to grow more or worried about it. Helps there too. You working out, sore muscles, majorly involved in that process. It's all over the place. This is the most used protein in the body. Amaze will amaze you. It's fantastic. It's delicious. It's liquid. It's immediately absorbed. There's no dissolving it in your coffee nonsense. And from what some studies have shown, a lot of the powders that are out there are actually causing your stomach walls to be powdered up, if you will. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It just sticks. So I'd be cautious on some of those. If it's a better powder, maybe it dissolves. But you want it to dissolve. You don't really want powder and then drinking powder. That powder's not good in your body. Liquid is. Liquid's awesome. Prime will help expand the amount of oxygen you get in your blood. It's called a nitric oxide booster. It gives you more energy. It's just how you experience it. It's kind of weird, but ultimately you're getting more oxygen in the blood. As the blood flows, every place that needs oxygen is getting more of it, or at least it's more efficient. So therefore your body's not working as hard. It's actually shocking how it works. It doesn't pump you up like caffeine or anything weird. You've just noticed you have more energy when you're doing stuff. Again, you're working out. Prime is something you should probably be taking. It's powder. I don't believe there's any sugar in it. It tastes good. It tastes too good to be true. I don't believe there's any sugar in it. I could be wrong on that though. Look, when you go to learn more, if you're someone working out and wanting to stay in ketosis, I'm not sure. But it works very quickly, and it's you just put it on your tongue. I don't think it's got sugar. It'd be kind of weird and gross to do that. So I don't know. I'll learn. I'll follow up with you guys. How about that? Go to danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Get into those healthy patterns and you will start to notice healthy things. Yeah, it's awesome. California gas line explosion. It's pretty crazy that this happened out in the, what was the area? This is, Castaic area here in California. And this was pretty severe and kind of freaks me out because it's like natural gas. We're just literally blowing into the atmosphere. Talk about greenhouse gases. Hello, California. When you want to talk about I hope somebody holds California to this, by the way, when they want to talk about how they've reduced so much green gases. Yeah, remember this experience, because this thing, I think, went for a while. So what that is natural gas. So much. It's supposedly a 36-inch pipe. Giant pipe. Giant-ass pipe. And it broke. 34-inch. Sorry. Yeah, at that point, you're just gorging someone. Yeah, needless to say. Yeah, crazy what happened. If, God forbid, that thing actually caught fire. Oh, my God. It'd be a giant rocket. And it would be very hard to put out. So I'm not sure even what they did to shut it down, but... that's not good at all. Here's also some crazy stuff going on. I think this was a helicopter crash, remember.
We are following tragic breaking news in the Garden State of New Jersey. 2 helicopters colliding and crashing to the ground. That accident unfolding just before noon in the town of Hamilton. That's about 30 miles east of Philadelphia. Police and first responders racing to the scene to put out the flames, but sadly, at least one person was killed. Another person was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Both the FAA and NTSB will be investigating that crash. As we get more information, we will bring that to you.
Yeah, it looks very not good. That's for sure, right? And how weird that there's a crash and there's like stuff on the ground. You guys remember 9/11? It's so weird how there was like no stuff on the ground. Huh. That's strange. I wonder why that is. Shoshone County Sheriff says 2 civilians and an officer were injured during a shooting at the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office in Wallace, Idaho. Suspect was shot and killed by police. Nobody was killed on the, who were attacked by this guy. The guy that was shooting people was killed. But the people that were being shot, I guess were all, 2 were hitting the leg and one guy was hitting the ear, trying to outdo Trump, I guess. But whatever the case, they're apparently okay, I guess. They're like, yeah, they're fine, And I'm like, how do you get shot and you're fine? Like, it's minor injuries. You got shot. That is a major injury right off the bat. You got shot. I don't care where. That's major. That's not good. Like, no. 4 out of 5 dentists do not recommend getting shot. That one dentist, though, you got to wonder about that guy. I've always wondered about that. Impersonating police officers, first responders. That's now a felony in Wisconsin. Very cool. This was the place, by the way, where that dude dressed up as a cop and then went and shot the 2 members of the local Congress, the House, Wisconsin State, something or other, proper word inserted. Yeah. All said, yeah, whatever the case is, it's now a felony to do that. I guess they've had a few situations. Someone was pretending to be a first responder, like a fireman or something crazy. And so, yeah, we got weird people doing weird things happening apparently in Wisconsin. Who would have thunk that? Weird people in Wisconsin? That's not possible. You guys put those cheese things on your head, right? Literally, some of those people wear those hats. It's like wearing a vagina hat in my mind. Like if you've worn a vagina hat, if you put a cheese thing on your head, I don't know. Like maybe in the right circumstances, the story will be interesting. Got some election stuff, kind of fun. Georgia's really in the spotlight, which is good because it was huge. Giuliani involved, so a lot of things. Georgia likely will be one of the places that breaks it. Could possibly Colorado with the Tina Peters. We got some news around that too. But who knows? All these things are going to kind of crescendo together. I think I always talk about how they heat things up in society when they want the population to kind of get someplace. What I've noticed is they start to heat certain things up. They used to do this with fear, and it worked very well for them, but we've kind of caught on to it, so now we call them on it before they even can really build the fear, or many of us don't even share it, so the fear doesn't build. So there are other games that they try and play, and our side does it as well, because essentially, like I've said before, people have an attention span of like 10 seconds. And if it doesn't grab me by then, well, it's not going to grab me at all. I'm going to go to the next thing. This is starting to build up and build up and build up. So we're hearing about it. It's repetition forces it to stick. So where it breaks exactly, I don't know. There's so many fun places. My guess is they're head faking people with Georgia, getting them prepared, with a bunch of legal stuff, and then they're going to hit him like California or something crazy because there's rumors, right? And they've been very quiet about California. Now, I don't know anything per se. I'm just rumor milling, if you will. Not where I got it, but I mean, wink. All right, there we go. Wow. Georgia secretary says 2020 election blunder does not erase votes. They're like, hey, just because these votes were, illegally done and handled doesn't mean we erase them. It's like, no, it's exactly what it means. Exactly what it means. So Raffensperger is sort of under fire for, being... Can everybody be retarded when they're in politics? I don't even know. Tim Walz is definitely to a level different than Raffensperger. Raffensperger is maybe just possibly inept or just evil. Greedy. Yeah, probably greedy. Georgia has the most secure elections in the county, and all voters were certified with photo ID and lawfully cast their ballots. A clerical error at the end of the day does not erase valid legal votes. Clerical error. Chain of custody was broken. If you were going to inject fake ballots, would a clerical error likely exist, Raffensperger? Just curious. I'm just asking for a friend. There's not a big enough middle finger to use towards you, sir. Even one of them giant foam fingers that they not normally middle finger, but there's many of them. Right, but even that one, normally they're like, we're number one. Giant middle, it's not big enough. Georgia judge grants investigating board access to Fulton County 2020 presidential ballots. They're like, no, yeah, you guys can check it out. Superior Court judge has granted a state election board access to Fulton County's ballots. The board, they just reopened this investigation. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney ruled Tuesday that the board will need to cover the costs for the ballots. I think they have $400,000. Thought there's some money involved. There might be a fundraiser going on. If you're involved with Georgia, maybe keep your eyes open on that if you want to, be helpful. If not, hopefully some millionaire will help, or billionaire, or someone, hopefully, with deep pockets. Court of Colorado of Appeals. This is pretty cool. Ordering the government to respond to Tina Peters' motion to vacate jurisdiction. Like, you got until January 5th to respond, 7,500 words, as a reply due before January 8th and limited to 3,700 words. And any motions to accept an amicus brief solely on the issues raised in this motion, that's due on January 5th as well. January 5th. Today's 28th. Fuck you. I don't care if it's a holiday. Suck it. I added that last part, I think. But, in his mind. Yeah. That's where I was getting that from. This is fantastic. Newsom denies California is the fraud capital of the world. And I bring this up two parts. One, obviously it's my state, so I want people to be aware of it. Two, they say it's the most populous state. Okay, so I got that going for me. Three, Newsom's likely going to run for president. So I'm just trying to make sure I get out as much bad stuff about him. Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah, so this came from the nonpartisan state auditor, which essentially christened California the fraud capital of the United States, with the number of agencies classified as high risk, meaning there's rampant fraud, abuse, mismanagement. It has doubled during Gavin Newsom's tenure from 4 agencies to 8 agencies. So we're talking about all kinds of fraud when it comes to Medicaid, when it comes to SNAP benefits, when it comes to uninsurance benefits. And all of this, by the way, comes on top of the incredible fraud and waste and mismanagement that we already knew about. The high-speed train where there's been no track laid in 17 years, spending $18 billion, the $32 billion during COVID at a minimum of unemployment insurance fraud, the $650 million on a canceled 911 next generation system that was canceled because the technology wasn't there. And so California is absolutely, under this governor, the fraud capital of the United States. And this is exactly the model that Governor Newsom wants to take to the rest of the country.
Well, you got the governor's attention because he responded to you saying, quote, Kylie is wrong. The auditor's high-risk list does not allege wrongdoing or billions in currency lost. It is a management tool used to target complex programs for heightened oversight and corrective action. Representative Kylie's claims are flat out false and misrepresent both the state auditor's report and the facts quick, your reaction to this.
I'd invite anyone to read the audit. And by the way, there have been other audits, like the one that found that $24 billion was spent on homelessness, and they lost track of the money.
Yeah, and you can look at the bottom line. They're in the state of California. They're billions of dollars in debt. Congressman Kiley, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this.
Yeah, they literally were talking about trying to do a tax on the billionaires that have left. And a few of them are actually thinking, well, we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. And they're talking about going retroactive. We don't care if you left. We're going to get you for the year before that you left. A one-time 5% on your assets. That's great. Now, again, do I have huge love for billionaires? Nah. I mean, no, but where do they stop, right? 100,000 there? Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says it's sad that Latino Americans are joining ICE. Yeah, guess what? People don't like illegal immigration, especially when you give up all the good stuff to them. Karen Bass, you communist, you Castro lover. I'm sure she's broke out the rabbit before and thought about Castro. Just saying. Like that mustache. I want that mustache. I want to take a ride. Oh, yeah. You know she does. Mom Donnie picks DEI poster child to head the FDNY. So obviously DEI, right? You just like right off the bat, you're like, of course, it's DEI. I mean, duh. But what's really interesting, and the real true critics are kind of zeroing in on the funny part, that's like this chick's never actually served as a firefighter. Ever. I don't even know if she's been to a fire. I'm not even sure, and it's possible she has, but I don't know for sure whether she's ever even roasted a freaking marshmallow. And this is her... Dude, there's going to be a sexual harassment suit somewhere in here, right? Someone's grabbing someone's fake wiener. Or breathe it out. Front Company's bombshell report exposes network of Somali-linked empty daycares across Minnesota. Empty daycares across Tim Waltz's Minnesota. I just want that to sit. We've got some information down here. This guy's done a great job. One of these is like a minute long. I don't know which one's the right one. We'll find out. Yeah, it's spelled wrong too by the Leering Center, by the way. Leering. Quality Leering. Come here and leer. Oh, why are you going to be like this? All right, we can fix that. I got you. Yeah, 136.
Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up!
They said... They spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ICE here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ICE!
Ma'am, what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million
Don't
over
open
the
up! It's ICE!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know
You're
what
not welcome here.
You-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you. It's
going
ICE.
illegally,
Don't open up!
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ICE!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare
Minnesota
center.
says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to...
Yeah. Powerful job that Nick Surley's doing. This is awesome. This is a rock star. I can only hope that Nick is in my audience, but I that's just I just want to be. That's maybe what that is. But that's fantastic. That's what we're talking about. And what's weird is we do have this example. Ari Hoffman posted this. Why were child and adult care centers in Minnesota, Minnesota. Maxing out donations to Somali candidate in Washington. Huh. Sunshine Childcare. MN Best Childcare. Adult Care. Lucky Childcare. Oh, God, how lucky are they? Lucky Childcare. See how the money flows? You get the kickbacks, we'll kick it back to you. That's only done in an organized sense because normal random people aren't going to donate $1,000. F you. You gave me an extra 1,000, I'm keeping it. I'm not floating that through you. Unless they're like, well, we'll give you more. Oh, okay. So this is how they do it. The song there. Rep. Tom Emmer wants answers from Tim Walz about Minneapolis Learning Center with no activity. It's like, talk to me, Goose. What's going on here? What's happening? Why? $4 million in hard-earned tax dollars going to and an education center that can't even spell learning correctly? Well, maybe they wanted to teach you how to leer. I think it's probably spelled with 2 E's, isn't it? If you leer at somebody, right? Isn't that I want to look it up now. Damn it. I hate this is one of the problems I have when I make up words in my mind. I think it's leer like that, but that might be the jet. All right, finally. Hopefully I can edit this properly. To look with a sideways or oblique glance, especially suggestive of lascivious interest or sly and malicious intent. It's a very good word, actually, leer. It's so short, so sweet. So maybe it's a misspelling of that. Take that, bitches. Probably not, though. No. Yeah, that's it. Vance praises YouTuber Nick Charley's report, and God bless America for this. This dude has done far more useful journalism than any of the winners of the 2024 Pulitzer Center prizes. It has. Cheers, dude. Good job. Ilhan Omar's husband, $30 million firm, scrubs names from website amid scrutiny, apparently, over Rep. Sudden Wealth and Minnesota's welfare fraud ties. Wait, is that husband or brother? I don't even know anymore. Which does she have a normal husband now? Or is it still, we're just calling her brother that offhandedly because it was true also? I don't know for sure, actually. And I don't care, frankly. I'm not, people be like, you should look it up. No, I don't, no. I don't really want her name in my search history. I don't even want to know how to spell it. That's how I feel about it. Many Americans are calling the U.S. to leave the United Nations after Somalia. Get this. Somalia is going to be made the president of the UN Security Council on January 1st. January 1st, Somalia is in charge of the Security Council in the UN. If there is no bigger giant-ass red flag flying in the effing European air. So many are saying, dude, we should be leaving that. That is, yes. Kash Patel posted this about Minnesota. Said the Minnesota fraud scheme. The FBI is aware of recent social media reports in Minnesota. However, even before the public conversation escalated online, the FBI had surged personnel and investigative resources to that place to dismantle large-scale fraud schemes exploiting federal programs. Fraud that steals from taxpayers and robs vulnerable children will remain a top FBI priority in Minnesota and nationwide. It's by your side. Nationwide's on your side, I'm sorry. To date, the FBI dismantled a $250 million fraud scheme that stole federal food aid meant for vulnerable children. I just like the word. Vulnerable is powerful. You put that in there. It's like they didn't just steal money from kids. Like, kid's got a candy bar in his hand. You stole money from him. He's like, he's eating right now. What do you mean? But vulnerable children. Oh, it's beautiful. Well done. So yeah, bunch of indictments, yada yada, bunch of cash. All that's being said. Also happening, random city in Idaho. This was thought I was bringing up earlier, but this dude does a quick search of daycares in some random city because of Nick Shirley's investigations, and this dude's finding crazy stuff. He's finding all sorts of weird inspections conducted, no substantial incidents available, but BK Childcare, Blessings Childcare. There's like a bunch of them. I don't know why we can't find. Is there a way to go back? Nope. I say. Oh, that's what we're doing. All right. Well, sometimes everything doesn't make sense. There we go. Let's do this. Shit. That was a bad idea. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. We'll fix this, maybe, or just deal with it. Yeah, anywho, there's a bunch. Something's up. 52 daycares. Look into daycares, guys. There's probably a bunch of them in your areas that are coming in at the wrong types. Democrat run Chicago. 8 people shot on Christmas night. Just, Feliz Navidad. Massachusetts parole board approves the release of 39 murder convicts after the state's high court ruling. Now, again, there was some looking into it, and they denied some people the ability to do this. And this came down to people that were 18, 19, or 20 when they were convicted of life sentences without parole. And this now new ruling's like, well, that's not really fair. Now, I'm going to be, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I think 18, 19, 20-year-old's pretty stupid individual and to be judged for the rest of your life. I mean, you do some really horrendous stuff, and you might deserve to stay in jail for the rest of your life, no matter what. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't keep someone in jail for the rest of their life. What I'm saying is to say there's no chance in hell you will ever see daylight again is pretty brutal, considering all the things that we allow people to do and they don't go to jail for their entire lives. Like, you piss people off when you go down this path. A lot of people are pretty black and white about this, but yeah, I don't know. This is the rule. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying, whatever. The guys that got out, I don't know the deal with the cases. 39 murder convicts. But again, people sometimes are allowed to get out on murder. That happens. Like, you've killed somebody, you go to jail for, 40 years. Depends on how you murder, if it was defensive versus offensive. I mean, there's just factors, right? So anyway, I don't know. Whatever the case is. A bunch of people didn't get out. I'm not giving Massachusetts a pass in any way, shape, or form, because I certainly doubt all of these people are good. In fact, I wonder, honestly, how many of these guys actually commit crime again. Hopefully none. We'll see. California drops lawsuit seeking to reinstate federal funding for the state's bullet train. They were suing Trump for the $4 billion. Trump's like, no. And they're like, yeah, we're going to sue you. Well, they ended up dropping it. It's probably because they realized they had zero case, and the publicity of the case and possible discovery of the case would have been catastrophic for California. Oops. So they dropped the case. Soros, a little bit of kind of a lesson from Elon Musk, apparently on with the female Joe Rogan. I like this when they were on it a while back, but he's talking about Soros, and Musk knows who this dude is.
Now, George at this point is pretty old. I mean, he's not, he's basically a bit senile at this point. But I mean, he's very smart, and he's very good at arbitrage. Famously, he shorted the British pound. That's sort of how I think he made his first money, was shorting the pound. So he's good at spotting, basically arbitrage, like spotting value for money that other people don't see. So one of the things he noticed was that that the value for money in local races is much higher than it is in national races. So the lowest value for money is a presidential race. Then next lowest value for money is a Senate race, then a Congress, and but once you get to sort of city and state district attorneys, the value for money is extremely good. And Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws, you just need to change how they're enforced. If nobody chooses to enforce the law, or the laws are differentially enforced, it's like changing the laws. That's what he figured out.
Yeah, he put judges in. And then everything makes sense, right? Stacey Abrams founded an NGO, and 30 days later was sent $2 billion by the Biden administration. As of today, none of that money has come back. Now, again, she's already passed through most of that money. Any of it that's left is in her pocket, and that'll be a fun case if that ever comes to fruition. We'll see, but I'm sure the money's already passed through, and they probably know that. I can't imagine the Treasury wasn't able to figure that out. Whatever. Yeah, this Stacey's NGO got $2 billion fund right before Biden left office. This is suspicious beyond all words. I don't know if this 23 seconds is worth it. What the hell? Let's, play it this way.
Who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. it's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams' NGO that basically didn't exist and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. Why? And there are many such cases like that.
Yeah. How this truth comes out, I don't know. Again, I mean, there's people have a lot of expectations of the way this is going to play out. I doubt most of them are correct. But Trump truthed this out. Now, 1 million more pages of Epstein docs are found, essentially. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud, etc.? The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success. Only a long ago dead Jeffrey Epstein. Just another witch hunt. He's playing the game intentionally. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt. He highlights things in a funny way. He makes people want it more. He makes people hate Pam Bondi more, which is fun. I mean, again, if he gets rid of her at some point, he gets rid of her at some point. And I'm still going to, at that point, I'll sell that she served the purpose that she needed to serve at the time. And whatever the case is, I don't think she's necessarily doing a poor job. I doubt that at all. I think she's doing exactly what Trump wants. And she's a good face for it. One thing Trump knows, and if you really pay attention to what happens and who he's got around him, you can have all the credentials. You want to talk about DEI? It's kind of the opposite of it, actually. You've got all the qualifications, which you have to have. But then on top of that, you're actually an attractive human, man or woman. You're a good-looking person. Just statistically showing. Overwhelming. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's very high. It's way over 50% of people will trust you just because of that. It's like 70%, something stupid high. Just because you're attractive. Ask a pretty girl. She knows. Oh, yeah, my God. They'll tell me his PIN number. I bet. Ugh. All roads. Let's try the English. We'll try that language. Or all roads lead to Obama. When are we going to see people held accountable? A lot of us want to know. It's a pretty good little piece here with Trump and Maria.
I mean, we've got reports that Congress collected 30 million lines of phone data during the January 6th investigation. They tapped the phones of 8 sitting lawmakers. What can you do to prevent this kind of surveillance? And how high up the chain did this go?
I think it went right up to the top. And I think it started with Obama, with Comey going up and giving me a briefing in 2016, 2015, the end of 2015 and 2016. And then I said to him, who knows about this? He said, President Obama, his wife, and Joe Biden. They sat in the Oval Office talking about it. But it went all the way through. Obama was involved. Biden was involved. Everybody. And then they got this guy, deranged Jack Smith, a lunatic. And they put him in because he was the meanest prosecutor you could find. He was sort of a failed prosecutor because he failed he'd failed because he'd always go too far. And now he really went too far. And we'll see. But you had 8 senators and I guess a couple of congressmen and some other people. But you had, maybe worse than that, you had a House rated of the ex-president of the United States who actually won the second election by a lot.
Were they looking for that report on Russia collusion?
I heard that they were looking because they thought there was a report bad about them. They thought I had it, which I didn't have. I didn't have anything of any merit. But they were looking, and I also had the Presidential Records Act. You know, I had the right to have all this stuff. I had that right to have it. Only the president has that right. The vice president doesn't have that right, but the president does. But they were looking for they thought I had bad things on them because they knew how bad they were.
Do you expect there will be charges that there was a conspiracy against you?
I don't know about charges. You know, I'm allowed to be involved in this. I'm the chief law enforcement officer of the United States. You know that, right? A lot of people say, oh, he's the president. He should. No, I'm the chief law enforcement. I'm allowed to be involved in it, but I haven't chosen to. I think Pam is doing a very good job. I think Cash is really coming onto his own. It's a field that he's very good at. I think they have some people that are very good. We're going to see what happens.
Obama the other day on a podcast to say that right now democracy is being threatened.
Yeah, no, he says that all the time. He's the one that threatened it by spying on my campaign. He started it. Obama spied on my campaign, and he did it knowing it was illegal. He knew it was illegal, But he started the whole thing, and there were a lot of
Well, he can't be serious. How he talks. I keep trying to do him, but I can hear him in my head a little bit. Trump is, I can't. I don't know what. Can't, never could, but still. Donald Trump Truth This. This is a Retruth Digest. Townhall.com posted. Whoa. Mark Thiessen just wrecked Democrats for harping on POTUS's war on drugs while staying silent under Obama. War crime? Start with Barack Obama. He had a drone campaign, fired 560 drone strikes, killed not just terrorists, but an American citizen, and did it on the ground instead of in international waters. I interviewed David Shedd on my podcast, the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under Obama, can't help myself. He said, we did double tap strikes all the time. In fact, we usually had a second predator in the sky waiting for the intelligence to clear to see if there were survivors so we could take them out. This was regular practice under the Obama administration because they were going after terrorists. Trump was or has declared these people a foreign terrorist organization. He's using the same authority as Obama. And yeah, boom would be a way to look at that. Fun thing that's coming out right now, FBI caught Hillary Clinton discussing donations with a foreign felon. Newly released FBI documents. What? Are we releasing the truth about all these people? Seems to. Got to heat stuff up, right? You need to heat it up. You heat it up too fast, you're going to waste a bunch of good docs. Probably got a whole lot of stuff. We're just going to keep drip, 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 dripping. Newly released FBI documents provided to the Senate Judiciary Committee reveal that in spring 2016, field agents recommended questioning Hillary Clinton about potential foreign influence on the Clintons Foundation and its possible use to settle campaign debts. Uh-oh. The documents include proposed questions for Clinton regarding a recorded conversation with Indian businessman Sant Singh Chatwal, a foundation donor who pleaded guilty in 2014 to using straw donors for her 2008 campaigns. Totally would have figured Sant was a girl if you see it written out. Of course. Who doesn't know that? Agents, there's like 1 billion plus people that do, but agents sought to inquire whether Chatwal's donations were redirected to the foundation instead of the campaign if they influenced the 2008 U.S.-India nuclear deal. Uh-oh. Remember Uranium One? Now there's a nuclear deal with India. Guys, I'm telling you, the level of stuff, turn your stomach. We have such a hard thing to turn around. You guys are doing an amazing job. You guys I don't think most of you appreciate truly. I know I don't. I don't even know. And I think I'm still a notch above some of you. And I don't mean above in a bad way, but I mean I don't think a lot of you appreciate how big a difference you make. Even I only got 10 people. Yeah, those 10 people are paying attention to you though, aren't they? Counts, man. That's rippling. And 10 grows to 20, grows to 100, grows to, it's all relative, man. It's all relative. Do the thing that works and the people will show up. If you build it, they will come. Kash Patel confirms FBI's J. Edgar Hoover building to be shut down permanently. They're so bugged. This building is so bugged. I imagine they're going to friggin' search every single corner of this entire building before anything happens. And then what? I don't know if they implode it or what. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, they're moving for sure to the Reagan building. Been talked about. They're not going to go build a $5 billion building. It sounds like for sure that's not happening. Silver is literally done something that it's not even good, actually. It's great for people that are invested in silver. And it's going to be cool for people that are smart enough to get the hell out of the dollar, the Federal Reserve note to be very specific, into precious metals and protect what you can, the buying power. And in the case of silver, you're going to be making some money. Silver's going up like wild. Now, silver's unfortunate. It's just, this is the reality of it. Get some silver, however you can. If you don't want to use my good friends at Goldco, then you can go wherever you want. I should be on the camera. That'll help. And then also, let's put that up too. But if you can get silver in any way, like even if it's old like silver real coins, like an old quarter that's from silver, if you got stuff like that, that's actually worth something. It's slightly not as pure. Like this is 0.999% pure. This is very, very specific. And in the case of coins, typically, like this happens to be Canadian maple leaf. For silver, it's just, easier. The gold's a Liberty coin, by the way. You probably can't tell, but it's actually maybe you can. But it's actually American mint. It's $100 coin apparently. Very cool. It's worth, I don't know, $5,400, $4,500. Sorry, I'm getting there. But what's sad is, so this $4,500, one coin, right? I just put one coin on the thing, and if I stack 10 of those, good on you, Dan. These are worth right now $80. Let's just make it $80. It's going to be $79.67 is where it's at as far as trading is concerned. Okay, so this is $80. This is what, 4,500. So how many of these do I need to equal one of these? So you got to stack, right? They take up space. Is my point. So silver's one of those things where you're going to make a bunch of money. It's a great investment. If you've got silver already, especially if you've had it for a long time, dude, hang on to it though. Here's the thing. It's going to go high. Don't get excited when it hits 100 and sell. First off, you're selling what? For Federal Reserve notes. No, you're getting out of those. That's what you're doing. You want to get some precious metals and hang on to them. We're hearing crazy stuff. There's a lot of people talking, and they're right. The way it works, the way the Asian markets are involved as well, they start trading before we do, and that's going to affect things. Literally going, anything that trades 11% in a day is literally like, that's catastrophic to the market. That means something very catastrophic happened. And they were suggesting a couple banks, major banks, might have finally failed because of paper contracts and calls and all this different kind of stuff, that they're screwed. And literally, and they explained how it works, and it's slightly complex, not worth it, but they literally lost, they had to pay up. And they went broke. There's a strong chance Monday's going to have some interesting news. And if they can hide it, they'll hide it for a little while. But when something like this happens with silver, specifically, something broke. It's not supposed to go 10%. There's mechanisms in place to keep that from happening. It went up 11.15%. It went up almost $8 in one short period of time, really over the weekend, but I think it was 10% for sure on Friday, and it's still trending upward. That something broke. You got a 401k, an IRA? I wouldn't wait. Stock market might not take a tank. All right, it might stay up for the most part. Like the futures are showing it barely down. So, people are talking. I still think there's going to be a moment in the market, but whatever. Even if not, the currency itself, the Federal Reserve note, is crashing. We've heard people dropped a bunch of treasuries. I think Japan did. And this is meant to destroy the Fed. Trump has got everything in place to handle this. Tariffs and all this stuff. We've got money coming in. Now, the Supreme Court, and I got the thing open somewhere, but I think February-ish is supposed to finally tell us what's up with tariffs. It did dawn on me kind of, I think, how this will play out. And I don't want to ruin it too far, but ultimately tariffs will be allowed. I think that they're essentially going to say, Congress, if you want to change it, you basically have given the president power to do this. If you want to take that power away, then use your abilities. But as far as the way things stand right now and how it's been and yada, yada, yeah, Trump can do what he's doing. I basically think that's what they're going to say. I think that's going to be part of the decision. They're going to have all sorts of other crap in there because it's got to stand the test of time. That's one of the things that we also don't necessarily think about as regular people, lay people, if you will, is the complexity of law. You can't just say, yeah, tariffs are okay. That's it. Now, there's going to be hundreds of pages or whatever of stuff that's very specific about how and what and where. They're going to try to spell it out as it's the Supreme Court. It's not just guacamole or sour cream being put on top of something that makes it supreme. It's it's the law of the land, right? They say, anyways. Or at least they're deciding what the Constitution means. So all that stuff said, get out of their system. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out while you can. You're protecting your wealth. We're eventually going to shift from the Federal Reserve note that's currently crashing, which means you're losing buying power daily. Gold's going up. That shows what's happening to the dollar specifically. Silver's happening because there's a shortage and a paper thing and, a buying spree going on. Get in before everybody else quite figures this out. Really don't want to wait too long. It's going to get crazy. The numbers are going to get significant. There's a lot of growth in silver. Do not wait. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. These guys are experts. They have multiple suppliers. They're going to help you move your money sideways, tax-free, penalty-free, as much of it as you can, as much of it as you want. They're also going to offer up to 10% free silver. Yeah, up to 10% free silver. Take advantage of that. And basically, if you got 100 grand, you're going to get 10 grand in silver. And if you got, 50,000, I don't know the increments. Under 100 grand, you don't get full 10%. Anything over 100 grand, you're getting 10%. So I don't know. It's up to you. If you got it, you don't. If you don't. I mean, who cares? If you got 25 grand, you're better off to have 25 grand in precious metals, especially if you're still working. And keep pumping money into that 401k. Who gives a crap? Divest out, I should say, is a better word. But diversify, one might say. Get into something that's going to protect your buying power. It's going to hold that, and then in the case of silver, you're actually going to earn buying power or have something that you can easily sell that'll be worth a lot shortly. And it'll be kind of, it'll be greater than the difference of gold. Like, it'll be above inflation, essentially. But if you hang on to it, it's going to get closer to where the ratio they're saying should be, which is 30-1 for gold. So the price of silver, they're saying, should be closer to taking gold's price and divide it by 30. So it's like 4,500 and divide that by 30. And that's what they're suggesting the price of silver should be. And that's 500, 600. So anyway, we're in a weird place. Prepare. DRSlikesgold.com, DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that system before it gets out of you. Or you just lose all your buying power and just literally go broke. You're like, I have $1 million. And you're like, and it costs $100,000 for a pack of gum, right? Like, you're just like, what happened to the world? It got crappy, got weird. Be prepared. Immigrant truckers sue California for unlawful plan to revoke CDL. So California is going to actually follow the federal law and start removing California driver's licenses. And now they're getting sued. It's going to be interesting to see how this case plays out, right? Oh, you got to keep them. But it's like, we can't. Otherwise, we're not going to get money from the federal government. It's like, I don't care. Oh, this is going to be sweet. Whatever. It's only in California, baby. Only in California. Supreme Court ruling on Trump tariff policies is expected in the new year. I talked about this. Was it actually February? Or February, if you say it properly. Like people that say library. Oh my God, that hurts me. It hurts me in the brain. I don't like it. I don't like it when you say library. There it is, early February. Woo! Woo! I say. 75 people were deported to this crazy little island called Pala. And Pala, as I don't know, it's this tiny land. It's basically a friend of ours. We paid him $100,000 a head, so $7.5 million. This was like, I guess, the deal. Like, you need some money for some stuff, and this money's going to, like, I think, help their economy and like build some stuff. I don't know, whatever. It's a lot of money there. Apparently, they had a Survivor episode there, which is like, all right, that's nice. But that was back in somewhere. Where they had, there it is, season 10 for all of you guys that have been watching Survivor. And yeah, so the president made a deal, yada, yada. There you go. Was it Eric's your cousin? What's his name? I forget the name they always say. Needless to say, Brett Weinstein, he's saying that he could go back and would not vaccinate his newborn child if he had thoughts to do this again because of some of the things he now knows in hindsight, which is Bob's your uncle. That's where it is. Sorry, just for any of you that already sent me the email. Sorry, Bob's your uncle. That's your fault. Also, Brett Weinstein. I think it's a British thing too, by the way, or something like that. Or it's people down in the south, Kiwis and Australians. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I just know they generally, as people with accents say it. It's funny as hell though. Brett Weinstein says that if you could go back, I wouldn't do it.
I believe the adverse events from regular old vaccines are far more common than we imagine, including things like allergies. I believe that my allergy to wheat is likely the result of an adjuvant that caused my immune system to react to something normal in my gut in a way that I will never be free from. My kids, one of my sons has seasonal allergies that are significant enough to get in his way, and the other has an allergy to dairy that I think goes back to an allergy to mother's milk, which at the time I did not understand he had, but he spit up so regularly after breastfeeding, it always perplexed me. This is a huge waste of a precious resource. Seems like evolution screwed up. That doesn't make sense that it would waste all of this mother's milk in this way, because our ancestors were starving, right? It's one thing if the mother has plenty to eat. It's another thing if the mother is resource stressed. You wouldn't want to surrender all of that nutrient. So what I now think is that he developed an allergy very early, probably from an adjuvant in a childhood vaccine. But in any case, this is all a long-winded way of saying the following thing. Given all of that education that I have now painfully received, if I had it to do all over again, I would not end up giving any vaccines to my newborn children. I'm not saying it's impossible that any of them are more beneficial than they are harmful, but I now know that I cannot trust the safety testing. And so even if I saw an indication that something was net beneficial, I would have to wonder, what is it that I don't know?
Right? I mean, that's where a lot of us should be asking. What else have we been lied to about? And again, we don't know. I'm not trying to, say for sure, but... Junk food bans for SNAP users in some states is starting in 2026. They're phasing it in depending on the states, depending on where you live. Possibly might affect you. Hopefully you're aware. I don't know if I want to get into all the pennies or all the specifics, but yeah, they're getting rid of candy, sugar, soda, a lot of the stuff you shouldn't freaking have on their energy drinks, cakes and cookies. If it's highly processed, a lot of interesting stuff, which is going to really freak people out. There's a whole group of people that literally are going to be like, I don't even know how to eat anymore. Like I got to actually make my own food. I can't just buy, processed food. It'll be interesting. This will be really good for health, though, because that processed food's nasty. So they're changing it. Trump signs Home Gym Deduction Act. Now we're actually going to be able to 100% deductible as a medical expense, which means if you are getting one of those HSAs or whatever, or FSAs or whatever the hell it's going to be, flexible spending account things they're going to have, right? Like for health, HSA, I think it is. It will be you'll be able to buy gym equipment if you want, which is kind of cool for those of you that might want to have gym equipment at home. I don't know. I don't want to waste space in the garage, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Going to the gym's cool. It's not that expensive. I like going. It's fun. Americans are furious after the Obama judge, Irene Berger. She blocks West Virginia's ban on artificial food dyes. Check that out. Artificial food dyes. She's like, no. She's siding with the dye manufacturers. Somehow it's a problem for them. This is what we get by on. This is our entire business. Oh, well, then you got to keep putting it into food. You got to keep putting fluoride into water. We got fluoride manufacturers that are going to go out of business. Who is this chick? Irene Berger? Really? Is it spelled that way because soy meat or something? What? Whatever. Very disappointing. New phase of an old conflict. Nigeria is open to more attacks. I don't want to break into all of it, but yeah, long story short, you're like, no, we'll tell you some other places you could blow up if you want. Just saying. They're working it. Chinese cargo ship converted into concealable missile destroyer. They're trying to freak us out. Of course, it's coming from Zero Hedge, no offense, but they've gotten really, really Chinese lately. It's so strange. All said, these are supposedly capable of having vertical missile launch tubes. These ships are very specific. They got heavy radars on them. They're equipped with defensive stuff, so they're not just cargo ships. You wouldn't just look at one of those and be like, that's just a cargo ship. No, you wouldn't. You'd look at it and go, something's weird about that ship. Whatever. And I'm quite sure we're able to scan those containers and see that they're full of missiles. But they are saying it is the equivalent to almost an Aegis. I think it's like half of the number of missiles that an Aegis cruiser would have. Somewhere they break that statistic in there. Close to it, something like that. So yeah, it's a cheap way. It's kind of a Russian style. Russia's probably had some development on that, and they're like, dude, build some of these, man. These things are great. So yeah, it's an easy way to put a weapon system on something you probably already make a butt ton of, is these giant cargo ships. So it's a smart move on China's part. Be scared, be scared. That's what they would say. Trump pours cold water on Zelensky's peace plan. I don't know if that's true. We'll see. He showed up today. Trump, beforehand, says, I just had a good and very productive telephone call with President Putin of Russia prior to my meeting at 1 p.m. today with President Zelensky of Ukraine. The meeting will take place in the main dining room of Mar-a-Lago. Press is invited. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Here's Trump talking a little bit about kind of what came from this.
President, do you think Putin is serious about peace this time?
I do. I think he is. I think they both are.
I called him. How close are we to a message to Mr. Putin?
Got to make a deal. Got to get it done. Too many people dying. And I think both presidents want to make a deal. We believe that they're going to bring it out.
What do you expect? Do you need Putin again soon?
Depends. I do believe that we have the makings of a deal. It's good for Ukraine, good for everybody. It's very important. There's nothing more important, in my book. We settled 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one. I thought it would be in the middle of the pack. This is the most difficult one, but we're going to get it done. We're going to have a great meeting today. This gentleman has worked very hard, and he's very brave, and his people are very brave. What they've gone through, no nation, very rarely has a nation ever had to go through this. So we're going to have a very good meeting today, I think, and I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting, and we'll continue a negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
I wonder to a degree, like the level how the fact that the West has used Ukraine. And I'm curious even if some of that blame is deflected to Europe even. I'm very curious to see how that plays out. Because they were used. This was used as an attempt to try to hurt Russia, and in reality, all it did was just actually decimated Ukraine. So, not good for anybody. It will be very interesting to see how that continues to play out. Trump announces that he's going to call back Putin immediately.
What they've gone through, no nation, very rarely has a nation ever had to go through this. So we're going to have a very good meeting today, I think, and I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting, and we'll continue a negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
I played that already. Russia pummels Kiev, hundreds of thousands without power ahead of the Trump meeting. So before the meeting, they attacked one more time, did a little more damage. Again, this was, I think, meant to like, dude, you guys better just stop. Like, let's just sign this deal. So I'm curious to see what happens with Russia, what they say. It'd be great if some sort of agreement happens very soon, especially really soon. It would be fantastic. Even close to the first of the year, that'd be fantastic. Turkey, they make another $9 billion deal with Russia, actually, which is cool because they're a NATO country. I love it. Made a huge deal with Russia. They're building a nuclear plant, and they need it. They need the power. It's good on them. Turkey, they're probably going to be a big player in the AI game. So they are a pretty big friend of America, but Israel pisses them off all the time, so it complicates that relationship a lot. What is interesting right now, and this makes me think that there are more attacks to come in Iran, Israel, love, or however that plays out. And they've got a new weapon there now. They're calling it their Iron Beam. News at 11. It's a high-powered laser interception system developed in partnership with the U.S. And I've told you guys before, this is where we test all of our laser stuff that we're using for our Star Wars and our Golden Dome and all this bullshit. Where do you think we're testing our stuff out at? The place that's our proxy. Everyone's like, we give them so much money. Yeah, kind of. Everyone in the world's been attacking them. And we try our shit out all the time. And it seems to do really well. Again, not trying to say it's okay. I'm not trying to say I agree. I'm just trying to say this is what's been happening. There's another angle anyways. It's not the only thing, for sure. Oddly, apparently North Korea, this is a big story that's out right now. They've made a giant red submarine. That's strange, just kind of by itself. Most countries make them black for a reason. Theirs is red. Not sure if this is a spaceship or what. This might be just more of a spaceship. Because that's what many people are suggesting. Submarines are perfect for that environment. All you need to do is put a propulsion system in them. And most people think of propulsion systems differently than they should. Look up the TR-3B if you ever want to get crazy and go down a fun rabbit hole. But the propulsion systems on there, I think there's some truth to what is alleged. And this is forever ago. This goes back to X-Files when the triangular craft were flying around. Yeah, those are the TR-3Bs. This goes back to the 90s, man. We've come a long way. So it is interesting. Looks like North Korea is going to be playing the game. Whatever the case is, it's got forward-launching tubes up here, for sure. Or I feel like we're watching Hunt for Red October. Those are too large to be, or we would say it in English, they're too large to be torpedo tubes. They're elongated. They go along the axis. That was that caterpillar drive. Anyway, whatever. I've watched way too many of these stupid movies. I'll move on. Judge blocks Trump admin from deporting anti-disinformation activist under the visa ban. I don't know. They don't have a picture of him. Bummer. Yeah, I thought I mentioned this already. Whatever. He's a British citizen, permanent resident, yada, yada, yada. I hope they kick his punk ass out. But they've said we can't right now. You know that Abrego Garcia guy? We've got a gag order on us, the country, or the United States has a gag order, but this dude can post videos and stuff. Like it's fantastic. UK is saying common sense hate crimes, like they're getting rid of the hate crime stuff online. Maybe I don't know. I read this article like twice, and I'm like, I'm still not 100% sure what exactly you guys are doing. I think they're talking about getting rid of that online nonsense in England, probably because we shut them off hard, and they're like, all right. Shit, that was pretty harsh. And we're like, yeah, we're not doing that shit anymore. Yeah, but mate, right? Like, I mean, yeah, no, we say. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt's boobs are going to get bigger. Oh, sorry, she's having a kid, another one. Beautiful, good job, congrats. I love that. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be my show. They're never, ever going to feature my show at the White House, ever. Well, maybe one day. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get smart. They'll say, Dan, seriously, all you got to do is just stop cussing all the time, and you could be so much. I know, but why? Where's the fun? Yeah, how to pronounce Pala. I had to look that up. Couldn't spell that. What else did I look up? What other crazy shit? Pala. I hear it. Let's listen, guys. Let's listen together.
Palau.
Oh, it's Palau now? Whatever. Fuck you. Over here, he said, where was it? Right here. Pa-la, okay? What's up, search assistant? Are you lying to me? And this guy over here is telling me the truth?
Palau.
Palau. Or Palau is what? Palau. I don't know. Whatever. F-U is really what I would say at this point. It's a small island. There's like 18,000 people that live on it. I love all you guys. You guys are my friends. Every one of you. Probably the biggest fan base I have outside. I'm kidding. I don't know if there's anybody there. Palau. Yeah, whatever. I love you guys. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Be ready. I think the economy's doing some weird stuff. Silver moving like it is not good. I mean, it's good. I'm stoked. I made a bunch of money. Only if I sell, which I'm not doing. This thing I bought, literally, I bought this at, I paid a small margin on it, but it was back when it was 29. When silver was 29, that's when I bought this thing. It's at 79 right now. It's 80. Even with the premium, I am 30, 40 bucks over what I paid, even with the premium. Beautiful. And the numbers we're going to be seeing are out of this world. I don't even remember what I paid for this. I don't remember. There's a premium on that too. When you go to the U.S. Mint or the Canadian Mint, that's just where I got the maple leaves. They have actually better silver, some say, but I don't know. Whatever the case is, they were priced better, even with shipping, and they're supposed to be slightly better purity, is what I understand. Whatever the case is. It's a smart move. I can only pat myself on the back so much. I love you guys. I hope you got in on this. DRSlikesgold.com. Don't wait. And also, guys, for the shows, the $5 and $25, we got one more that's going to be happening. Third Saturday next month, fourth Saturday next month. Those two shows are going to happen. Our two meetings, shows are going to happen. And that'll be the end of that. So we'll talk more about that. I don't want to bug too much on it, but we will mention it. I will send some emails out in the coming times. I feel like if I do stuff way too early, people might, I don't know, just quit before. And it's like, go one more time at least, and then I'll start bugging you. But yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate you. We're going to do some future meets coming up. We're also going to maybe I've got some interesting ideas for live shows that might be fun in the mix ideas. So I don't know, I got some stuff I'm bouncing around. I'm just taking a little small hiatus from what I've been doing. Give myself a little breathing room too. So I don't always have to worry about like, what day you want me to do something? I got a trip that's going to happen. It's going to overlap on one of these Saturdays. Like, it's just been a panic on multiple occasions. And so I need to kind of free myself from that responsibility, that liability, if you will. It's been tough. I love you guys, though. And you guys are really, the ripples are what's making this happen. So I'm just a small part. You guys, you meet me, you don't meet me. Nah, I'm just a dude. Don't worry about me. You are the action star. You are the action hero. Not me. I'm just some dork that has cool shirts. On the Fringe. Dan Radio style. Oh, no. Let's do it right. Where we go one, we go all. Now it's On the Fringe with Dan Radio style.